Hello dear students, welcome back to ICET series of videos. So this is session 4. In this session, we'll discuss the questions on coding and decoding. In the last session, we had a discussion on sequence and series. In this session, we'll have a discussion on the questions of coding and decoding. In coding and decoding, basically there are two types of questions we are getting in the ICET. The first type of question is a passage based question, and the second type of question is individual questions. That means logic based questions or reference based questions. So what is logic based or reference based questions? We'll discuss in this video. So I am taking coding and decoding in two sessions. This is session 4. We'll have session 5 based on coding and decoding. There I will discuss passage based questions. So let's jump into the session. So basically, as per the ICET examination pattern, in problem solving, we are having 55 questions. Out of 55 questions of problem solving, there are 10 questions given from the coding and decoding module. In this 10 questions, 5 questions are given from the passage based and 5 questions are given as a individual questions. So we'll have a discussion on individual questions, then we'll have a discussion on passage based questions in the next session 4. In the next session, that means session 5. So before we jump into coding and decoding, only thing student need to know is alphabets with the respective positions. So if you are aware of this alphabets with the respective position, if you are good at figuring out the position of the alphabet, then you will be definitely feeling very comfortable in solving the questions. If you are not aware of it, at least you try to remember them by using a simple trick, that is EJOTY. E-J-O-T-Y. E indicates 5, J indicates 10, O indicates 15, T indicates 20, Y indicates 25. So at least use this trick to figure out the alphabet positions. So E, J, O, T, Y will indicate the 5 multipliers. So how these are going to help us in getting the alphabet positions? So if you observe, let's assume that I want to find out the M position. So M, N, O. O is 15. So that means N will be 14, M will be 13. Let's assume I want to find out the position of P. So M, N, O, P. O is 15, so P will be standing at 16. Like that, you can connect with this 5 multiplier alphabets and get the respective alphabet position. But actually required thing is, you just remember all the alphabet positions. As soon as you see any alphabet, you should be capable of telling that in the form of a number. Okay, that is a minimum prerequisite before we jump into the questions. See, that means, for example, you have TS ICET. How can we write TS ICET in terms of numbers? So T is nothing but 20, S is nothing but 19, I is 9, and C is 3, and E is 5, and T is 20. This is what is a skill which I am expecting from your end. That means as soon as you see any question, any numbers, any alphabets, you should be telling that in number, and vice versa, number in alphabets. So let's go to the questions which are given in 2023 TS ICET paper, question number 46. So till 45 we had a discussion on, till session 3 we completed till 45 questions in the ICET examination. From 46 to 50 we will cover in this session. So if vaccine is coded as this, then how the word fever is coded? This is a question given. So first observe, vaccine is coded as this. I am just trying to write here vaccine, V-A-C-C-I-N-E. Vaccine is coded as U-Z-B-B-H-M-D. Then how the word fever is coded is the question. So I always suggest, when you are solving this type of questions, it is always suggested to write the codes like this in the vertical format, so that you can easily identify the pattern instead of writing in the horizontal pattern. So first observe what is the logic which is available in this first given reference. Use the same logic to get your answer. So that means same like analogy questions. So in analogy questions, we'll have a reference pair. We'll understand what is the logic in the reference pair and we'll apply the same logic to answer our question. And that is what we had a discussion in this session 1. So if you observe here, V is 22 and V become U. U is what? 21. A is first alphabet and Z is 26. That means it is decreased by 1. It is also decreased by 1. And U is, C is third alphabet. B is second alphabet. That means it also decreased by 1. And if you observe carefully, every alphabet in the given word is decreased by 1. And that is what is the logic. What is the logic here? Logic is nothing but every alphabet is decreased by 1. Decreased by 1. So fever is coded as what? So F is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 means E. And E is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 means D. And V is 22. 22 minus 1 is 21. It will be U. And E is 5. 5 is 5 minus 1, which is D. And R is 18. 18 minus 1, 17. 17 is Q. So your answer choice must be E, D, U, D, Q. So which is available as option 1 for us. You can mark it as an answer choice. You can mark it as an answer choice. Hope it is clear for you. And even when you are good at looking at the options, you can also use the option choices in solving. So if you observe, in vaccine we have E, and how the E is coded? E is coded as D. In fever we have E here. So that means this alphabet must be, last but one alphabet must be coded as D. So if you observe, E is coded as the D. That means this E must be coded as D. So you can just look at where you are able to see D. That will be the answer choice. This is another common sense approach which you can use. And this is, we call it as elimination method. Because in ICET examination, we are not going to have much time in solving the question. We will be having just 30 seconds or the 40 seconds to crack a question. So this process of elimination is always suggested method to solve the questions. So let's look at the next question. Question number 47, which is given in TS ICET-2023 paper. If rectangle is coded as this, then in the same code language, how the word rhombus is coded is the question. If rectangle is coded as this, in the same code language, how the word rhombus is coded. So I am trying to observe what is the logic available in the question. Rectangle is coded as this. Rectangle is coded as I told you in the previous, just write them in the vertical format so that it will be easy for you to figure out the logic by looking at these alphabets. So R is 18th alphabet, T is 28th alphabet, E is 5th alphabet, G is 7th alphabet, C is 3rd alphabet, E is 5th alphabet. That means by looking at this, I realized one simple point. 18 become 20, that means it is increased by 2. 5 becomes 7, it is increased by 2. Next also increased by 2. So that means every alphabet, you can check again, every alphabet is increased by 2 here. So using the similar logic, you have to find out the code for rhombus. So in rhombus, we have 7 letters. So R is 18th alphabet. So 18th alphabet will become, it also need to be increased by 2. That means it will be 20. 20 means T. And H is 8. 8 become 8 plus 2, 10. 10th alphabet is J. And O is 15. 15 plus 2, 17. 17 means Q. M is 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. 15th alphabet is O. B is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 means it will be D. And U is 21. 21 plus 2 is 23. 23 is W. And S is 19. 19 plus 2 is 21. 21 means U. You have to check the answer which is matching with this. T, J, Q, O, D, W, U. T, J, Q, O, D, W. So which is matching with this. So this is the answer which is matching. You can mark it as answer choice. So this is the actual approach of solving. That means what you need to do in the all coding questions is, we will be having one reference. You have to understand what is the logic in this reference and apply the same logic to get the answer. And as well as you can use the common sense approach in solving the question. What is the common sense approach which we can apply here is, so if you observe here, we are able to see that rectangle is having R. R means T. So R means T. All the options are matching with that. We cannot eliminate the single option choice. And can we apply any other common sense approach here? Rectangle and rhombus, any other words are same, you can check out. So nothing else is same, so we cannot apply the common sense approach here. So you can directly proceed with the solvation of the question. So every alphabet is increased by 2. So sometimes the common sense approach will work out and sometimes it won't work. So that's why we have to know the conventional approach of solving. Look at the question number 48. If H, P, R, FQL is decoded as this, then which word is coded as this? This is a question given for us. So you can just observe, they given little reverse question here. HPRFQL is decoded as this. That means if you understand this, they are trying to convey that EMOCNI is coded as HPRFQL. So this is what is the question. Then which word is coded as this? Which word is coded as this means they given which word is coded as HFQDQLI. Please understand the given sentence clearly. So they given not coded, they given decoded. That means HPRFQL is decoded as this means EMOCNI is coded as this. That is the meaning. Then which word is coded as this? That means this we have to figure out. So to find out this, just try to understand the logic which is available here. This is 5th alphabet, this is 8th alphabet. There is a increase of 3. This is 13th, this is 16. Again increased by 3. O is 15, R is 18. And C is 3, F is 6, N is 14, Q is 17, I is 9, L is 12. That means every alphabet is increased by 3 here. The same logic you can apply here. Which word is coded as this? That means something is increased by 3 and they got H. H means 8th alphabet. What should be this value? It should be 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. That means it should start with E. You look at the options which are starting with E. Only one option is there which is starting with E. You can mark it as an answer choice. But you can solve the further to mark the answer. If one more option is starting with E, it would be difficult. So F is going to be 6th alphabet. 6 minus 3 is going to be 3. 3 is nothing but C. And Q is 17, 17 minus 3, 14, which is N. D is 4, 4 minus 3, 1, which is A. Q is 17, 17 minus 3 is going to be 14, which is N. And L is 12, 12 minus 3 is 9. I is 9, 9 minus 3 is 6, 6 means M. So your answer choice must be this. You can mark it as answer choice. Hope everyone is clear. And question number 49. So if you observe the question number 49, in certain code language, gang is coded as this. Then mage is coded as this, then manage is coded as what? They given the two references for us, so use that references. Gang is coded as, so if you observe G-A-N-G, gang is coded as 7157. Then mage is coded as 4185. How the word manage is coded. First understand what is the logic which is available. So if you observe the logic here, the question we call this type question as a reference based question. So you can use that reference based question, or otherwise we can also solve in logic based question. First we'll solve this question using the logic based question. How they taken G as 7. So G position is 7, A position is 1. So N position is not 5, but then why they have taken 5? N is actually 14. 1 plus 4 is 5 and G is 7. That is what is happening here. That means they are taking the digital sum of the position of the alphabet. So in the similar fashion, M is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, A is 1, directly taken, Z is 26, 2 plus 6 is 8, E is 5, directly they have taken 5. In the similar fashion, M is 13, 1 plus 3 must be 4 and this will be 1 and N will be 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. So A is 1 and G is 7 and E is 5. So your answer choice must be 415175, which is there as an answer. You can mark it as answer choice. 415175, which is available as option A. You can mark it as answer choice. Hope it is clear. And let me discuss the another logic to solve this. That is reference based. So if you observe, manage is a required code. So manage, how M is coded here? M is coded as 4. So your answer should start with 4. All the options are starting with 4. We cannot eliminate the single option here. And A is coded as what? A is coded as 1. So that means answer must be starting with 4 1. And N is coded as what? In gang we have N. N is coded as 5. That means answer cannot be this. Answer can be any one of these two. So again A is 1 because we know this A is 1. And G, what is G here? G is coded as 7. So answer must be this, eliminate this. Like this also you can check, and this, if it is not matching, you have to look for only logic. Okay, hope it is clear for you. And question number 50, which is given in the TSI side paper, and I am not able to figure out the logic here. For this question, they given something like this: Berlin is coded as 190, person is coded as 270, then how the word listen is coded. So I'm just trying to figure out the answer, but I am not able to solve this question. Maybe there is some mistake in the question. So any one of you from the audience, so you try to solve, any one of the student or faculty, whoever is watching this video, try to solve this video, and I appreciate if you can give the answer for this question. Okay, let's start with the practice questions. So please do the practice questions based on the coding and decoding, and comment your answers in the comment box. So look at the question number 1. Use the logics which I have told you. So use the reference, use the first one, observe the reference, observe the logic, apply the same logic to get the answer. Practice question number 1. Practice question number 2. Practice question number 3. Solve these 3 practice questions and comment your answer choices. If anything is need to be discussed, we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you so much. See you with session 5 by taking passage based questions in coding.